Hello and welcome along to the Irish Rally Podcast Christmas special in association with our kind sponsors for 2022, SVS Productions and treerock.ie. Now, in the true spirit of Christmas, we said, let's delve into the true spirit of rallying in our eyes and in many people's eyes, and probably everyone's eyes, but I don't like to speak for everyone, of course. The Clubman, of course, is what we are talking about. Now, we did kind of just dabble the waters or test the waters in terms of a Clubman episode with our good friend Colin O'Toole a couple of years ago. And admittedly, Colin wasn't the man for coming on podcast and he had to be persuaded. And eventually he did come on and he gave us a bit of an insight into the Clubman. And something kind of struck me a number of months back when we were doing MC at the ramp down in Wexford. And we came across this particular gentleman.
Just have a bit of crack, sure. We can't afford a rally and have a marine crash, so look we're going to do our own thing and have a bit of crack. Have my best friend beside me and sure, just have a bit of laugh. That's all we're going to do and enjoy it,
Only one tyre choice for you, I believe, this weekend, yeah?
Oh, black round ones, yeah. We got the front two off a slurry pit and the back two off a silage pit, so that will do us. And they're hard, sure. What more do you want?
Yeah, it is, of course, Mr. Emmet Cleary. Emmet, you're very welcome on the Irish Rally Podcast. How's things?
Good evening. Well, them tyres still hard, aren't they, for the weekend, thanks be to God.
Yeah, get them for another rally, will you?
God, there's lows left in them still. Wet, hard, dry, doesn't matter. They're hard, that'll do.
Well, listen, Emmet, as I said, you're very welcome on. You really captured the imagination with that particular clip. I just thought it was brilliant at the time. I was so happy that Flying Fin Motorsport, who are the owners of the clip, included it in their package for Wexford, which was absolutely brilliant. And as soon as I saw it, I said, I may chop up that with permission of Eamon and stick it up on Facebook separate because, as I said, this episode is about the Clubman, which is the heartbeat of rallying. And I just couldn't think of a better person to have on this time of year to maybe go through bits and pieces in relation to that and maybe your journey and what it takes for you to actually go rallying. So I'm sure you have a couple of tasty ones for us. You tell me off air you have a few nice ones anyway, but I think we'll bring it all back first and keep it all civil and we'll ask, why rallying? Where did that interest come from? And can you remember the first rally you were at? And then I suppose subsequently the first time you kind of got involved in the sport?
Okay. There was no pressure trying to think back 15 years ago, is there?
I thought it was only 5.
I can't remember what I done yesterday, but never mind. I don't know, I suppose my father was always involved in hot rodding, There's all machinery always at home, tractors, lorries, there's always diesel in the blood, So there's not, petrol was never too far away in the blood then either. But I was actually doing my leaving cert. I got a phone call from a neighbour of mine, Marty Kinsley, down the road, and wondering would he be interested in navigating for Peter Edmund out in Barntown. And sure. It's been rally hard, yeah, no bother tonight, definitely. I remember doing the leaving cert that year, and everybody was really impressed. I was never really a school going man or listening or anything like that, Hated school. I absolutely hated it. As Tommy Tiernan says, I only went there because that's where the bus stopped, But everybody was, I was really studying, he's taking the leaving cert fairly serious. But in the book, I was studying pace notes. I was trying to figure out the lefts and my rights and tightens and opens, and there was Patterson notes back then, and there was no DVD or nothing like that. It was get notes off of somebody and go for a legal spin and start calling them, get used to them. That was West Cork. I can't remember what year that was. Probably 05, I'd say. We Suzuki Swift 1300 Group N, and Peter was always the underdog. Should we go out and take our time? Right. That kind of not what rallying was about with me, but sure, whatever. I'm sitting in a rally car and I was happy enough. We got about 2 miles into the first stage, and my top of my mouth was like sandpaper. I was calling nose to him that week. I said, this lad is not going to go slow. I said, but you know something, I really love it. I enjoy it, you know. So we broke a drive shaft a mile away from the finish on the last stage. And I was devastated because I thought sure I was going to win an old trophy. To me, I was like as if I was after winning the rally, you know. That was my first experience. But when we got back to the hotel that night, um, I stand corrected. I was either 16 or 17 years of age. I can't remember. And I got an award for the youngest navigator. So I got an award for not finishing the rally, you know. But I think we done. I think we could have done 6 or 8 different events after that, and yeah, we got a trophy every time, first, second, or third in the class, and yeah, it's all Peter Edmonds' fault.
So Peter Redmond is responsible for kicking off things, I suppose. And you did, as you mentioned there, kind of do an awful lot with him. Is it safe to say that, I suppose, you were bitten by the bug? Is that the right way to put it? Yeah.
Yeah, bitten by the bug. I found that there was so much more to it. Like I loved navigating at the time. I was your driver will actually go only as hard as your navigator will tell him. Peter was very good at listening as well. And in fairness to him, like which didn't happen very often, if you had to push him on, he pushed on. But when you told him to cut back, he pulled back as well. Like, you know, so yeah, that's where the bug started from navigating in there, you know.
So after spending a substantial amount of time then with Mr. Redmond, you eventually, I suppose, came up with the whole thought process of, right, sure, look, I might as well have a go at this crack now myself. But, it's not as simple as that, Emmet. How did it come about when it eventually did come? And how hard was it to try to get something together to go out yourself like?
Yeah, well, 2013, well, Peter sold a rally car and I was navigating for different lads on and off. I navigated for Andrew Nash and my brother Keith, and but Keith was competing in a Polaroid championship in Ireland or something. I call it hurling on horses. I don't know what it is, Polaroid or something. But you can leave that behind because he loved that bit. Yeah, he was competing in Polaroid, as I call it, hurling on horses, and the same weekend as the Wexford Rally. And Keith was one of their best players, so they asked him would he, stay out from the rally and go to the All Ireland. And I think they had a chance of winning to go to South Africa or something fairly substantial in it. So the car was sitting in the shed, and I kind of asked Keith nicely. No, in fairness to Keith, he actually offered the car to me in 2013. He said, "Yeah, sure, she's there. Look it. If you bend it, you mend it." That was it. So myself and Anthony, we only got one stage. The first stage was cancelled. Second stage, we got that. And we're coming back into service, and I heard a noise come into the box. So, look, it wasn't my car. I parked her up, and I just said, it's better to check it, even though we only got one stage. But that was 2013. Went back navigating then for a while, and I just knew like it's just not the same, It's just not the same. You just once you're driving, and everybody told me that like once you change from the navigator seat to the driver's seat, there's kind of no going back,
Very few have gone back after making that little transition, haven't they? In fairness,
no, very little. Look at fair play to the lads that can go driving their own car one weekend or go navigating the next weekend. Fair play, but Jesus, no, for me it's just driving now, 2016, I done double O for Wexford Stages Rally. Where my father sat in with me. That that was fun. He haven't sat in the rally car since. And it was only double O spin, and which passed by my own house. He I think you have a couple of clips of it there, and the nearly.
We do have a little flavour of this, so maybe we'll give it a jingle.
3 right, 2 left, 3 right, 2 left, 80 into 3 right, tightens. This is the one now that's fucking tight. 3 left, 3 left. Yeah. 3 left. Go ahead like a right man now, up the hill, 150 up the hill. 1 left, 100, 2 right, tightens to a 3 right. 2 right, tightens to a 3 right. And 40. Calm down now, I'm at 60, turn 4 right, slippy. 4 right, 4 right, 4 right, keep right. 4 right. Jesus, to a left, 151 left, pass sign only 60. And then turn 5 right here. Calm down here now. Oh, keep right, keep right, keep right. 5 left. We're head on up around the road now, 150. And this is the fucking dodgy one now, turn square left. Now, Emmet, calm, please, please. That's better. Now, where am I at all? That's where I have 2 rights and...
Fairly animated co-driving there, Emmet, at its at its finest. I didn't know, was he going to throw the book of notes out the window at one stage, but what do you call it? Yeah, he telling you to calm down, I thought was quite entertaining, but you know, you enjoyed that day, I suppose.
Yeah, look at. I thought he was going to hit me with the notes at one stage there, but then I thought there was a blue bottle or something in the car. I don't know what he was at, but look at, he probably didn't know what I was at either. But he went fairly light on us there, because he at one stage I don't know, I got on to him or he got on to me, slow down, and then he said drive on. And I said, make up your mind, which one do you want me to do? So I know, look at that, I did enjoy it, you know. It passed by my own house as well. 2016, yeah, that was a raw deal. It dealt to me a couple of weeks after it, all right. But look at, it was great to have the rally there to focus on, you know.
Mm-hmm. And look, I know, as you say, you did have a raw deal dealt to you in 2016, and I suppose on the back of that, then 2017, you decided to do something, you know, very, very special, it must be said. So talk us through that.
Yeah, so look at 2016 was just desperate. So I decided that look at try and turn an experience into something productive, you know. So I navigated for Frank Kinsler, and we raised money. It was called Rally for Hope. We raised money for the Hope Centre in Enniscorthy, which was you know, very good to the family at the time, you know. So yeah, we raised, I think we raised over 2,000, so we did. But it was the support that came with it as well from the rally people, you know. As to say, the rally family and the rally committee, you know. So yeah, that was 2017, Rally for Hope. Thanks to Fran as well for allowing me to do it. And yeah, another Clubman that's out for the crack as well. And look, it was yeah, just something that I kind of wanted to put a stamp on, you know, and to give something back, as I say, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because obviously, look, you've been through a bad time with a bereavement and stuff, and obviously that cause was close to the heart. And I thought, you know, fair play to go and do that, to turn it around and make it into, you know, something productive so quickly as well. Like, especially you're talking whatever 12 months after, you know, and to have that mindset to go about it that way, I think is very commendable, because some people can't probably even find, I suppose, the wherewithal in that space of time to maybe try and go out and do something like that. So, like, all credit to you. I know you're going to tell me, well, fake off with yourself. I'm not looking for you to tell me I'm a great lad, because I know that's the type you are. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that whole thing. And I have to say fair play to you, like, you know.
No, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It wasn't easy, but had to be done, you know. As the fella says, stand up and be counted, or lie down and be mounted. And I just had to keep going forward, you know. And it was actually then in 2017 is where I went back to the navigator seat. I seen how much fun Fran was having from a driver's point of view. I seen how much fun he was having, you know, as a clubman's point of view, and I just said to myself, right, look at 17, I've raised the money for the Hope Centre. I've given something back. It's time to part that now. But my new project is, going to work, and the 50th anniversary was coming up, and I said I'm going to have a car for the 50th anniversary, and it's going to be my own car, and I'm going to drive it, and I'm going to have my best friend beside me, and I hadn't 2 shillings to rub together, but I said to myself, no, that's the benchmark now, so let's do it.
Yep, and obviously that did come about. You had a bit of a warm-up act in Carlow, I think.
Bit of a warm-up act in Carlow. Look, I'll even admit I was a snail in Carlow. The nerves were at me. Car, you know, didn't test, didn't drive it, done nothing. Just threw myself into the deep end, or swim or drown now, Emmet, you know. And our main objective that weekend was just bring it home and build on it, you know. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. So obviously that kind of brings us up as far as Wexford with that infamous slip out over the ramp. But in doing a bit of research for this particular little segment, we did come across a particularly enjoyable exchange between yourself and Anthony. I think it was on stage 8.
Turn square left, bump. Tight it in, lad. Fuck. Wrap. One right over long crest and a fast 4 right down that pole. 40 over jump bridge. Yeehaw! Wilma. Oh, hey, oh, 80 long one. Two left, don't go 100. Turn square right, round bells. 550, lad. Up to this again. We're reeling them in. Oh, lads. Oh, we get too carried away now, right? Alright, Pat. Sharp, we got on the nose. Hey, you going to stop for this again, no? Yeah. Okay. And a crest and a very long toe left. One.
That's just gold.
Sure, how could you take that fella serious? In all fairness, and he grouting and hurting and jumping and Jesus, but that's what we're after, you know. Like that's only a very short clip of the crack that we had that weekend. That's just pure and utter crack, like, you know.
Yeah, what we didn't show there, I know you were doing the reeling in sign, but I think you caught a couple of cars there, and I thought with the ones that were pulling the left-hand side, but there was definitely a hot pursuit of one anyway, and possibly another.
Yeah. I caught a Ford Puma, and then I caught a 106 as well, and I was catching a Civic then as well. So, but look at it with us, you can say, oh, it's not about catching cars with us, it's actually about the crack in the car, you know, and you know, to have a bit of a laugh, like it's Anthony is some character. Andy's very good to me as well. He's my best friend, and I have to say he's some crack.
Well,
I only have one good friend, and he is my best one. I'll tell you that now.
We're going to have to confirm Anthony's surname, right? Because I know you might have pulled a little bit of a stroke earlier in the year.
Now, believe me, I'll tell you the truth now.
Oh, yeah. I can see it in your eyes. Right. McKinley, in all seriousness, yeah?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah. You never heard tell him. Well, do you know what? I'm going to reveal something to you now, because I know you're not a big EWRC man, but anyone can have an EWRC. Emmet Cleary has 2. And on the second one, your co-driver is Anthony McKinky.
McKinky, yeah. So, yeah, there's a bit of crossbreeding in that fella, you know. That's where the McKinky came out of. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, it was. Yeah, that was funny. We got the stickers done up, and predictive text. I text the sticker man to our names, you know, and predictive text, and he said, "You sure it's right?" And me being me, yeah, it's right, thumbs up or, go ahead, whatever. Never even copped that it was Kinky instead of McKinley, And there was actually another chap said it to me, Robert Leach, said to me, who's sitting in with you? I said, Anthony McKinley. Who? Anthony McKinley. He said, lad, you have McKinky on the car. I said, sure, McKinley, it's all the one end. No, he said, you spelled it wrong. I was like, sure, they'll get the gist, as I should have the first part of the name right, it'll be all right, So when Anthony seen it then straight away, like, Jesus, Clary, you may change that. He said, you may change that. No, says you can't change it now. So now it's our good luck charm now. So we have it on the side of the car and it's staying there now, and yeah. Now Anthony have tried to change it and pick the sticker off loads of different times, but no, it's not changing now.
In terms of rallying, then, what does rallying mean to Emmet Cleary, and what is your outlook on it in general? Like, you've mentioned the fact that you're in it for the crack and you're there to enjoy it, but if I was to ask you that question, what would your answer be?
Yeah, I kind of go with a different approach on it. I call it three pillars, or three essential things, or call it whatever you like. First of all,
these aren't the three you hit years ago now, no?
Hi?
That's not the three different pillars you hit years ago, no?
No. that was concrete. That was concrete stakes, and there were 14 of them to be precise, and a telegraph pole. All thanks to Andrew Nash. But the three pillars I go on is car preparation, not in no particular order, but car preparation, your sponsors, and sure, most importantly, you have to have the support from home. NCRS prepares my car and run my car on the event. All like Nicholas and Sean, professional men doing a professional job. To look after the car previous to the event, to look after the car on the event, but most importantly, they communicate with myself and Anthony on the day of the event. Are we happy? Do we want this or do we want that, or what do you think, Emmet? Is there a problem? What, all different aspects, that things that you don't think about, And if you come into service and you ask the lads to change a light bulb or change a gearbox, yeah, no better. So without NCRS, getting us to the start line and then looking after us to get us to the finish line, that's very important, And even in Wexford, when the lads have loads of cars, even if it's not Sean or if it's not Nicholas, they're still there in the background, and the rest of the lads are as good as the boys, if not better. Second of all would be sponsorship. There's no doubt in our minds rallying is expensive, and it's hard for the clubman like myself to be out a lot. But look at, if you're out once or 10 times, whatever it is, entry fees and running costs are running costs. But for a clubman like me, it couldn't be done without sponsorship. And the three sponsors, or the four sponsors I have, is KC Concrete, Gorey, O'Brien Cement, Bellevue Port and Waterford, Ferry Carry Construction in Australia, shout out to Me Hall, and Pat Cleary and Sons Transport. Without the four people coming on board, I can honestly say I wouldn't be out rallying. There in Wexford, you had a lovely dry day on the Saturday. Okay, Saturday morning was a little bit greasy, but you had a dry day for the rest of the day. On Sunday, you needed a pair of flippers to get around the place, You've no choice only by full set of wet tires. And even though mine were black hard and round ones, I had to buy a set of wet tires on the Sunday, And without the KC Concrete, without the O'Brien Cement, Ferry Carry Construction and Pat Cleary and Sons, I wouldn't be able to do it. And the last thing that I go on, look at, soon to be wife Laura. If she's not supportive, you're at nothing, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the support at home, you won't be going rallying, or you won't have a home to come back to, one or the other. The two chaps are there, Josh and Archie. Josh is 10. Josh is mad about the rallying and blurries, and there's diesel in his blood already. He was actually following, he does a bit of rapping to the silage for us there as well during the busy times. But Archie's a year and a half. You're setting a benchmark to the boys too, no matter what you like doing, go ahead and do it. We know it is expensive, but build up a good relationship with good people, and hopefully they'll be as lucky as me and have good sponsors as well.
Mm-hmm. Emmet, I suppose aside from the actual competing part of it, you're heavily involved in Wexford Motor Club, and as well as doing the rally this year. You're among a team of people that went out to try and possibly go a slightly different way about things and bring in maybe a different stage or two, and that's not easy, of course, and that process is not easy. But again, a magnificent event was put on this year, and an integral part of rallying is going out and canvassing and trying to get the whole thing together.
Yeah, I was over the canvassing of the Salt Mill stage. The Salt Mill stage is absolutely fantastic not because I canvassed it. I thought it was an
That makes it even better
fantastic
to you.
stage. Yeah. And did I mention the fact I canvassed it? Huh? But no.
Sorry, do you canvass stages?
Salt Mill's on, did I tell you that? No. No, look at. We went out this time last year. Myself and a couple of the other lads went out driving stages, and the Salt Mills one was just one that we said, yeah, look, we have to get this on over the line. Yeah, I was involved with canvassing and was involved in helping to make sure everybody was canvassed on the stage, because you're cutting off a village basically, and you're cutting off a tourist route to the Hoop Lighthouse. But everybody, and I mean everybody on that stage, residents, opened it with open arms. There was more people, like when you go with the canvas sheet, like, oh, come on in for a cup of tea, and they were so delighted to see it coming, But it wasn't just me. It's a team of everybody behind each other. There's great communication within the club. When you come with an idea, it's listened to, and they're really, not to mention people's names, but everybody comes in together, and communication is key. And no matter what you come up with, you listen to, and right, Emmet, if that's what you think, here's are the positives and the negatives. But it actually make you proud to be a Wexford Motor Club member, the way that rally went off this year. Like the atmosphere Friday night on the quay, ceremonial start, going up the main street, and the crowds of people, like the crowds was just, you've seen it yourself, it was just unreal. Right. You had little children coming over wanting pictures, looking inside in the car, and it was absolutely fantastic. And that just doesn't happen from one person canvassing a stage. That happens from a team of lads behind each other, and Wexford Motor Club, they had a fantastic team behind each other. And even down to marshals, down to training marshals before the event, down to marking the stages weeks in advance. It was really, really fantastic work by everybody. And it's great when you have a club member that's competing, that's able to go out there and give something back again to the club. Because at the end of the day, we're all volunteers. There's none of us getting paid for it. And a special shout out to anybody that stood out. The marshals, any time of the year, fantastic people. But anybody that stand out in that rain on that Sunday marshalling, so the hats off to them. And without marshals, we'd have nothing. So thanks to everybody that did marshal at Wexford and around the countryside, because without them, we don't rally.
Last question, Emmet. What does 2023 look like for you? I know you mentioned there's a couple of big things happening in your life, but will we get to see you out doing a little bit?
I say it'll be the second half of the year. I'm getting married sometime between West Cork and Killarney. I don't know what date.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
know. Look, as far as I'm concerned, Laura, like, it's next year. Now, I know next year is a week away, like, but I'm sure it's not, it's not happening next week or anything, like, so it's grand. Look, at Laura, very organised, so she'll just tell me when to have a shower and put on the shiny shoes. Put on a set of shoes, you wouldn't know to sharpen them or shine them, yourself. Yeah. No, look, at I May is when we're getting married, some of them times. And yeah, so I'll probably wait till that's over and done with before we get out. Look, I don't know. Don't know yet. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, Emmet, I want to wish you the very best luck with that next year and everything else as well. It was a pleasure to chat to you, Blow on Wexford. It was a pleasure to chat to you here on the podcast. And a very happy Christmas to you and all the family and everyone at Wexford Motor Club. And well done again.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity to publicise a Clubman. When we're down at the back of the field, sometimes we don't get any recognition, but people like yourselves promoting us, sure, you never know what'll happen.
Sure. Look, we always like to give the Clubman a mention, and that's why we always give our class winners a shout out. But not every Clubman wins the class, so it's nice. It's nice to try to get around and do what we got. We try our best, and we'll see what'll happen.
I didn't win. I didn't win the class either, but I won a novice award. So there you go.
I got that as well for podcasting. That's about all I get.
I think your name is on the back of it. No, look at it. It's great. It's nice to come on and have the chat as well. And again, thanks to the sponsors, and most importantly, thanks to everybody that helped make Wexford such a successful weekend. And as I said, they make it proud to be a Wexford Motor Club member. And most importantly, again, thanks to the marshals and thanks to the sponsors. And sure, look at it was no wave if it was ever on the ditch. I'll be the one with the black round tires.
And that's where we leave it on this edition of the Irish Rally Podcast. You want to say thanks once again to SVS Productions and to Tree Rock, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in with us throughout 2022. Lots of people snapped up hats as well, including Emmet Cleary. Thanks to Emmet for that. And, really thrilled and really surprised at how quickly everything sold out. We'll be doing another order again in January. And a shout out to Seamus Conahan as well of CRSPX. He sent down a lovely calendar. I tell you, we'll just grab it before we go, and we'll showcase it. We have her hanging up here in our little studio, and Seamus has a heap of them on the CRSPX site. Emmet Cleary, thanks very much once more. A happy Christmas.
Many happy returns. Cheers, man.